right, what is up, Why We Disney fam? If you are watching on YouTube, you are seeing some faces. It is the second time that we've recorded on Zoom with our faces, so this is very exciting and it's very different. We're going to be getting used to it a little bit, but we have an incredible episode prepared for you guys. We have an amazing guest. You guys are going to absolutely love her. She is the cutest thing I've seen today. Adorable. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. I do want to remind everyone, if you have not already, make sure you follow us on Instagram, make sure you like us on Facebook, and please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're really close to our goal with YouTube followers. So make sure you get us there as soon as possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Why We Disney podcast. I'm here with your co-host Kaycee.
Hi.
And our very special guest, someone I've been so excited to have on the podcast, my friend, more like sister, Amanda.
Hey.
Hi,
Amanda. Hey, thank you for having me.
Of course. So before we get started with everything today, can you tell the listeners where they can find you on the Instagram?
Oh, yes. My Instagram handle is magically Amanda Victoria. It's my name.
Super fancy.
I love my middle name, so I throw it in there wherever I can.
And I'm sure people are probably wondering, because you're not a small shop owner, you're just like a special guest. And we actually know each other outside of the Disney community. So let's just get this story out of the way. How do we know each other?
Oh, Kara. No, I would say we got close because I'm sure everyone knows who Brandon is, Kara's best friend. I'm his older sister. However, I met Kara before that, before we met through Brandon. I'm 2 years older than you, too, right? Yeah. So we actually met in high school when you were a freshman and I was a junior. But I think the story began when I was a senior and you were a sophomore. During Fame, the musical, and Kara thought I was snobby. She thought I was the snobby cheerleader. But to be fair, when you get to know me, I'm very shy at first, and then I kind of open up the more you get to know me, and I'm very silly and sarcastic, and I love teasing my friends. So from the outside looking in, I get where she was coming from. I will admit that, but I just like to bring that story up because
I love to say that I hated cheerleaders in high school. Okay. It was just I think your group of friends was just I don't know, it was just them. And I was the sports music kid, and I was I'm so over these cheerleaders, honestly, but half of them were my friends. So I really don't think that I don't know. I was just there's that blonde cheerleader girl with all her friends.
Blonde in high school. I had brown hair.
Okay.
I know. I just like to tease Kara.
Yes.
No, but now we're more like sisters. We're very close. She was a bridesmaid in my wedding. She's like a sister to me, so I love her very much, and I just like to pick on her.
She's the middle child.
Yes. I am the lost middle child in that family. I'm 2 years younger than Amanda and 2 years older than Brandon, so always.
I know. And now she's really forgotten now that Billy jumped in there. He's also in the middle.
Oh, God. He is the other middle child. That's how I signed his Christmas card this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get back on track here. So tell us a little bit of your Disney background. What started you with Disney? And I want to know your 3 favorite characters.
Oh my God. That is the hardest question ever. Okay. Well, I've loved Disney since the day I was born, probably. My first birthday cake had Mickey and Minnie on it. The second one had Winnie the Pooh. I just always loved Disney. Kara, remember when I was really obsessed with watching home movies?
Oh, well, you still are.
You remember that? I think my favorite video by far is my second Christmas. And I got that, it was back in the 90s. So I had that pink Barbie Corvette. My dad set it up in front of the TV it was my own mini drive-in, and I'm just watched Beauty and the Beast on repeat. So I've always loved Disney. But I definitely fell in love with it the first time we went to Disney World. I think I was 8-ish years old, but like I was done. Like I walked in, I was like, this is the best place ever. I never want to leave. And then like as I got older, I kind of like needed to like bury my love for it because I felt like in high school and college I got made fun of a lot. They're like, Amanda, Disney's for kids. And I was like, no, it's not. So I didn't like say much about it until I met Billy, and I started to like, Billy's my husband now, by the way. Sorry, I feel like I should say that. We started dating and I was like, we should watch like a Disney movie. And he never judged me or said anything. So then all of a sudden I was like, bam. And he was like, whoa, like this is crazy. But like, I don't know. I've just always loved it.
And your 3 favorite characters?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Winnie the Pooh. Baymax. It's probably a tie between Ariel and Rapunzel. Or not, oh God, not Ariel. Aurora and Rapunzel. Sorry.
My eyes got so big.
Sorry, Aurora. Ariel's your favorite. Aurora and Rapunzel. Because Aurora was always special to me from when I was little. It was my favorite. But then ever since I saw Rapunzel, I loved her. So it's like a tie. I can't pick 3. And it's like,
have you ever said your 3 favorite? I don't think I know your favorites.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Me?
What are your favorites?
My 3 favorite Disney characters?
Yeah.
Cinderella, Minnie, and oh my gosh, I love Baymax.
he's the best.
Oh my gosh, but then I also like, oh, that's so hard.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's so hard.
That's so hard. Man. And I'm a huge like Moana fan too. Like I've been listening to that soundtrack on repeat. Oh man. I don't know. I can't decide. Sorry.
Cinderella and Minnie, they're classics.
Yeah, they are. And I also love Daisy a lot too. But I almost like I'm just addicted to like their sassiness. Like I just love, both of them. Daisy and Minnie. They're like my sassy forever. Like if they were actually people, like we would be best friends. That's how I feel.
Good to know. So Amanda, I just want to let the listeners know that this podcast would not be made possible if you did not start your Instagram account.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the listeners this quick story. So Amanda started this Instagram account. She was like outside in the backyard taking pictures with ears and all these like different like shirts and different bracelets, reach up to the sky. And like she was doing all this stuff. And I was like, Amanda, what are you doing? This was like before I went to the parks, like with my mom and got more into it. And she was like, oh, I have a Disney Instagram. And I was like, what the heck? What in the world is a Disney Instagram? And then come to find out that I went back in 2019 with my mom. And then I was like, yep, what Amanda was doing is right.
No, she used to make fun of me. She was like, what are you doing? Why do you like Disney so much? I don't get it.
I did. I used to make fun of, not make fun, but I was like, I didn't understand.
No, I guess disclaimer, our relationship is lovingly teasing each other like sisters.
Yes.
Yes.
So when I say make fun of, it's not like she was like, blah, or whatever, you know.
But what was like your reasoning for starting the Instagram account? Like, did you know about the Instagram community or did you just want like a place to put everything?
Pretty much a place to put everything. So Billy and I went to Disney when I was 8 and then in high school after I graduated college. I really wanted to go back to Disney. So Billy was like, yeah, we can save up and go together. And we went and I took so many pictures and I was like, everyone on like all my high school friends and college friends are probably so annoyed with my Disney obsession. So I was like, I'm going to start a separate one. So then I just started following people who also love Disney. And that's just kind of how it spiraled. And then I was like, oh, you can take pictures of like your shirts and your bracelets and all your bags. Like, why not? Like, I like Disney style. So that's kind of how it like evolved. Like,
yeah.
I just love Disney.
You started an account, and then I started an account, and then I started a small shop, which led me to Kaycee, and now here we are, 360.
And we absolutely love what we do. Every second of it is just a joy to my life, and I know it is to Kara's too. Like we we've just been so blessed. It's great.
Yes, absolutely.
I will say, Amanda, like I did it for the free clothes. I had heard about like shops that would give you free clothes to take pictures in and like post on your Instagram. And I was like, I want free clothes. I love Disney. Like, let's do this. And then all of a sudden it just spiraled into this great thing. Yeah. And now like, holy crap, I would have never thought a year ago that I would have a podcast or an actual one that has released like 14 episodes and like is very successful and we're growing every week. Like I'd have never thought this. So Amanda, grateful to you because obviously you were kind of the ball that got this whole thing rolling. So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
And Kaycee, something that you should know about Amanda is she was engaged at Disney.
And we love Disney love. Like oh my goodness, we love Disney love so much. So I really want to like just straight up, I want to hear the story. Tell me the engagement story.
Okay, so I love telling this story so much. So I feel like I need to tell you how we got engaged, and then I have to tell you like Billy's thoughts before because it's really fun. Just trust me. So
perfect.
This was our second trip to Disney. I went to Disney with Billy, and then the next year I went with my mom. And then the next one I was like, do you want to go back with me? Like, I feel like I need to go at least once a year to get my Disney fix. So we were like, yeah, let's go. So we planned our trip. And the first day is always a Magic Kingdom day. Like, love Magic Kingdom. I feel like I need to start and finish my trips there. And the first day we were there, it was August. It was so hot. But we were planning on going to Cinderella's Royal Table. So I was like, oh, we could like dress up for it. That'd be cool. Like we can look all nice for eating in the castle because it was the first time I was doing that too. So we got into the park and we were just walking on Main Street and he was like, do you want to take a picture now, like in front of the castle? We can stop at a photo pass. Just pick whichever one you want before like the heat gets to us and like my hair deflates.
Yes.
Pretty much.
It happens. Hey.
So we get to the one of them in front of the castle and we put our bags down near the photo pass woman and he was like looking at me and I was like, what are you doing? The camera's that way. So I legit turned him. We took a few photos and then he kind of turned me and I was like, what are you doing? And then he got down on one knee. I honestly couldn't tell you what he said. I blacked out.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what? And then like you just have the progression of because like he told the woman just like, I'm gonna propose, just keep taking photos. So you just have like we learned I'm an ugly crier that day because it's just like like my face is just crazy. But it was so cute and special and it's just funny. Like I remember like the people in line being like I don't even remember what like Billy was saying to me when he was proposing to me, but I remember the people in line being like, oh my gosh, he's going to do it. Something's happening. Yeah. Like,
yes.
Don't remember Billy, but I remember him.
So like walking into the park that day, were you like, I think I might get engaged today? Like, was that in your mind at all?
So many people have asked this and I keep saying like, I should have known because it started at the airport. Like, we had like, we each had a backpack and I had a carry-on full of like my shoes and stuff that was just too heavy or fragile to put in my suitcase because we were going through a week. And I get nervous when I'm going through security because I always feel like I'm doing something wrong and I don't want to get yelled at. Like I'm not doing anything wrong, but like it's just in my head. I feel like I should put that out there. I'm okay to fly. I get nervous. But so I was like, Billy, can you please take like the extra carry-on? I'll focus on my backpack and like we'll get through it. So we go through, I put my shoes on and I'm like, where's the extra carry-on? He was like, oh, I just grabbed my backpack. So we were like, the heck? And I guess my ring was in his backpack. So he was just focused on the ring and he went through a separate line because he was so nervous they were going to find it and like spoil it. Oh no. So he's so focused on his backpack. So then we get to Disney like that night. And then the night before I was like, well, let's just pack our bags for the park the next day. And it's August. You never know it's going to rain. So I was like, let's just pack our raincoats. And he's terrible at folding. So I was like, can I fold your raincoat to make it fit in the backpack a little better? He's like, no, I got it. I look over and I'm like, can I please fold your raincoat? You're not doing a good job. He's like, Amanda, I'm a man. I can do it. And I was like, okay. All right. So then the next morning I wake up and it's so hot. And I was like, I think I'm going to wear shorts and a t-shirt today. Like, let's not get dressed up. I know we're going to the royal table, but like, no. He's like, Amanda, you're really going to regret it. Like, I feel like you'll be so sad if you don't dress up for Cinderella's royal table. Come on. And I was like, all right. So my dress had like a bow in the back. And I've always asked him to like either zip me up or like tie the bow. And he like, nothing was good enough. And I'm like, since when? Like,
Doing?
when do you care this much? And I think what like really should have tipped me off was I was wearing silver jewelry. And he's like, oh, you're wearing silver jewelry today? And I was like, yeah, why? Do you care? Which my engagement ring is gold. So I think he like, and I didn't put anything together. So then we go through like security in Magic Kingdom and he went to a separate line, which I was like, oh, okay, didn't think anything of it. But then when we walked in, he was kind of holding his bag like in front of him. And I like turned around. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, it's really hot. I'm like, it's only going to get hotter. But he was like guarding the ring. And then I was like, it's like so weird. I was like, oh, maybe. But then I turned around and it was on his back. And I looked down and there wasn't anything in his pocket. I was like, oh, Amanda, will you stop? Like, you're just getting your high hopes up. Like, he's not proposing. Relax. Turns out he was. So it was just funny because then he was like, every little thing, you kept irritating me. I'm like so nervous to propose and you're like gonna catch me. I honestly didn't. Like I should have.
So you honestly like weren't expecting it. But you feel like after the day is over, you're like, dang, I really should have like picked that up.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've talked about it before, and he's like, when we're both ready to propose, or when we're ready, like, I'll propose, and trust me, like, yeah, like, I'll make it special. I'm like, okay, Disney? But, like, I never, like, expected it. I was always the hope of mine.
Yeah, that's really cool. No, I love that. And if I wasn't already, like, married to my husband, but before the first time we went to Disney, I feel like I'd be, like, looking at him, like, all the time, like, are you gonna like? I don't know. I feel like it'd be super paranoid.
Like, oh, you're kneeling? Oh, just your shoe untied? Oh, okay.
Your shoe, right? Sure.
Oh, dang it.
Well, I love that story. I'm sure you like absolutely love telling that story. I think it's very sweet. So thank you for sharing that with us. You're the best.
Of course. Thanks.
All right, guys, we're gonna pause really quick for an ad break, and we will be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. We are on with Amanda and my amazing co-host, Kara, joining us. But Amanda, I'm super interested in hearing about your engagement, like photo session that you had. So I'm super excited to hear about this. I like want to take notes while you talk.
Yeah. So on Instagram, I found this couple, Hey Team Kelly. And I forget where I originally saw them, but I saw that they did like photo shoots and just different like bookings for people who go to Disney. So I was like, this might be a way to get Billy to do engagement photos. So I just reached out to them and said I was interested and just tried to get some information. And then I told Billy and he was like, if you really want to, we can do it. So I was like, yes. So
yes.
Yeah. So we just planned a trip and we met up with them. We met up with them like during golden hour in Magic Kingdom and took like just photos. And then they also offered like different videos. And I was like, that could actually be really cool to like play at our reception, like on a loop along with like other photos that I could put with it. But so we met with him the next day in the afternoon. And I think we spent 4 to 6 hours with him. And basically all we did was act like it was a normal park day. And we went on different rides, walked around the park, and he just recorded us the whole time. Like, it felt really weird. Like, I felt like the paparazzi was watching
Right.
us.
I would have felt so famous. Like,
I'm like, I don't like drawing attention to myself in places where I don't know people. So I was just kind of like, oh my God, people are staring at us. But
I would have been all about that.
I know you would. But it was like so much fun. We rode a few rides. Like, we rode the People Mover, the teacups. I think me and Billy on the teacups is my favorite picture. I'm like looking at it right now. And then it actually caught us walking down. We passed we went on the carousel. Those were fun.
I was about to say, I love those.
I love the carousel pictures. And then we were walking between like Peter Pan's Flight and It's a Small World. And there was a little girl with like bubbles. And there's a cute one of Billy like poking a bubble. That's another one of my favorite ones. Oh. And then he rode Big Thunder with us, Big Thunder Mountain. So we got lucky and we're in the back seat. So Billy and I were in the very back and he sat in front of us. He legitimately was turned the whole time recording us. Like, we got some of the cutest photos and it's like such a cute video. Didn't work on our wedding day, but it's fine.
Oh no.
But I posted it. So that's like one of my favorite videos of all time. I rewatch it all the time. Right now, watching that one or a wedding video and be like, oh my God, again? And I'm like, yeah.
That's such a cool thing to have though, because I feel like I leave the park sometimes and I miss so much, you know, like I know I did things, but I just really wish that, like you said, someone would just follow me around and make sure they catch it. Cause sometimes I don't, you know?
Yeah. Cause I mean, you want to go and you want to take photos of everything and record your day, but at the same time, you want to be in the moment and enjoy your day. So it's kind of like don't know what you want to do. So I had him do it for us. No, it was so much fun and I'm so glad we did it. And I know Billy was like, oh my gosh, because he does not like photos like at all. So I know he was so out of his element. He's such a good guy, great husband I have.
Yeah. No, he sounds absolutely amazing. So that's really cool. So I really want to know to the planning that went into the photo session. Like, did you have to like be prepared for any like rides or anything or places that you really needed spots at? So I really want to know what planning went into it before you even got to the park.
Yeah. So before we even like left for Disney, we messaged back and forth and he asked if there were any certain rides that we love doing at the parks. And we were focusing on Magic Kingdom. So he asked if there were any lands that we spent most of our time in. And we definitely spend most of our time in Tomorrowland and Fantasyland when we go. Those are like our two favorites. So I was like, I love the teacups. I think the carousel is super pretty. Like, the Fantasyland aesthetic is just like my aesthetic. I mean, if you could see like behind me, it's definitely my aesthetic. He asked if there are any places we would want to get pictures from. And I was like, oh, I think in front of like the lanterns would be really pretty in Magic Kingdom. So we actually got there and the round bench that's like right outside the bathrooms. He's like, oh, can you just stand up on them? And I was like, you want me to do what? And like, I don't like drawing attention to myself, but and of course I said it in my head. I don't say things out loud. I say things in my head, as Kara can tell you. He's like, yeah, just stand on there and I'll take a few pictures. So we did, and they came out really well. And then it was funny because like we got down, and of course other people then did it. But then we like would wait in line for the teacups, and we got some really cute photos, and we walked through Fantasyland. We got on the carousel and took really sweet photos, and like that part of the video is like one of my favorites. And he just like took pictures of us walking. I think the only thing we didn't get to do was the Buzz Lightyear spin ride. I was like, that's one of our favorite rides, but is it too dark? And he was like, oh, no, it's not. But unfortunately, we just like didn't get to it. But we got a really good photo of us on the People Mover. And yeah, he was like, the castle's coming up. If you guys just want to kiss, I'll try and get the castle in the background. So we're like, okay. He's like, okay, I think now. And then I swear to God, we're like kissing for like a minute. I was like, did you get it? Like, but we ended up getting it. It's like another one of my favorite photos. I'm going to say that about all of them. They're like all my favorite.
I want to see all of these photos. Like you're describing them and I'm like, oh my gosh, I bet that would be so cute.
Yeah, I love all of them. I have them like spread out around the house.
You have to send some to us. Like, please,
of course,
please do that. And I love how you talked about like the process of that too, like messaging them and going through them. Are you allowed to kind of say like, and you don't have to, but the price point that they gave you? I'm super interested what that looks like.
I don't remember.
That's okay. How long ago has it been?
So we got engaged in August of 2018. And then we probably took the photos in 2019. And I have to say, wedding planning kind of wiped my memory. Like I used to be like really good at remembering things. And now I'm just like, I don't know. So I would have to look back because I honestly don't remember.
But what we'll do, and for those listeners that are coming on to the YouTube and watching our beautiful faces talk about this, I will have a link in the description to their Instagram account. So you can go and find them yourself if you are interested in one of those opportunities.
Yeah, I think they actually just posted on Instagram that they're scheduling bookings again. So.
Oh, nice.
I know.
So let's just transition from your engagement into your wedding. You were a 2020 bride. And just really quick explain to the listeners, I just want everyone to know that you had 2 weddings.
I did.
What? If you could give like a 60-second explanation of that, how does it work?
Well, I don't know if I originally intended to have 2 weddings. The pandemic kind of did that for us.
Yeah.
Or not for us, but I can't think of the word that I'm like trying to use. But so we got engaged in August of 2018. And Billy and I both come from Catholic families. So we wanted to have a Catholic wedding. And the church we wanted to get married in, you have to like go through all these classes. So we had to plan pretty far out. So the date we chose was June 6th, 2020, 6/6/2020. So, you know, Billy would remember, you know, easy to remember. But I think it was, and I'm really good at planning things. And I think this wedding was planned within 6-ish months. I knew like the decorations I wanted, or we wanted. I keep saying I, and Billy gets upset. He's like, we wanted, Amanda. Like, sorry. So we had like the decorations we wanted. We compromised on everything. He's such a good sport, but not a good sport, but he wanted to give me like what I wanted, but also like I wanted him to not be like, yeah, this girly wedding. So like we compromised on everything. But we had everything picked out, everything not engraved, but like, so our guest book was actually in the shape of a castle, and you would sign a heart and then put the heart in the castle.
Oh,
Said June 6, 2020. We got the Mickey and Minnie ears, the bride and groom ears, and I think one of them says Mr. and Mrs., but the other one says June 6, 2020. Our wedding bands were in, his is engraved with June 6, 2020. So like everything was June 6, 2020. So when the coronavirus first hit, we were like, what does this mean? And like, we thought maybe it'll clear up by June, but as it got closer, we were like, it's not. So we unfortunately had to make the decision to reschedule, and we pushed it out to September. But like, my mom is, I don't know how to describe her.
She's one of a kind.
Definitely one of a kind, like the best mom out there. She's my best friend. She's just like, nope, you're getting married on June 6th. Like, no, like it's happening. So And my dad is like the sweetest human on the planet. So he's like, now I'll get the backyard ready. I think like, we'll just, that's where you were getting married. And I was like, oh, okay. But of course, you know, being Catholic, they're like, no, you got to get married in a church. So we're like, but like, can we? Because like everything's closed. So luckily everything came together and we were able to have our ceremony in the church where we originally planned. And then my parents threw a reception for us in our backyard. And it was perfect. And I think Kara was a bridesmaid, and I think she can attest to this, but like that morning was so crazy. But like her and my maid of honor, Lauren, they helped so much, like just putting everything together. I think it was mainly Lauren, Kara, my cousin Allison, who was a bridesmaid. My sister
and your mom was blowing up balloons like crazy.
Yeah, so many balloons. Like my mom wanted to give me everything that I wanted. And I was just like, I feel like I need to tone it down a bit because my mom's just saying yes to everything. But she's like, this is going to be your day. Whatever you and Billy want, you're going to get. And they pulled it off. So, and we like were able to have like the guests within the guidelines. It was outside. It was just great.
And then your September ceremony.
Yes. And then the September ceremony was the one that we originally planned at like the venue we wanted or had originally picked, as long again with the church ceremony, except it wasn't a marriage. It was a vow renewal because you can only get married once in the Catholic Church. So we renewed our vows at 3 months. But so we got to do like everything we originally wanted. And it wasn't like the same guest list that we had planned because not everyone wanted to travel, which I understand that. But we were able to keep it within like the guidelines. It was outside. I guess it technically wasn't outside, but the venue had like every single door was like open. So it could be considered outside.
Sure.
So like we followed everything within the guidelines. We had to like rework the seating chart and everything because not only were we like worried about can these people fit, but like the tables had to be so many feet apart. And then instead of like making all the tables even, we were like, so this group of 10 we know have been together. We might as well have a table of 10 and a table of 4. Like we really thought about like where everyone should sit. We're like, okay, these people are family, these people are friends. Like, let's make sure everyone's comfortable. Sure. Then it's just like so many different things you have to think about.
It was such a beautiful day. I loved being a part of it. And thank you so much again for letting me be a bridesmaid.
Well, thank you so much.
And I kind of want the listeners to know, so you added like some Disney touches to your wedding. What would be like 2 of your favorite Disney touches out of everything that you had? You talked about your guest book and that was the castle.
Hard to choose a favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our Disney touches were very subtle, I think. Like, oh my gosh, the cookies. So our favors were different cookies. And okay. I'm trying to like describe them. So back in June, originally I wanted our favor to just be like an individually wrapped sugar cookie that said either like Mr. and Mrs. Hoffman or Happily Ever After, or just like in the shape of a castle, like something like subtle. And the person we originally were going to get them through wasn't available for September. So actually a family friend did them for us. And we had 2 different styles, and one said Happily Ever After. And in the eye of happily, she put a hidden Mickey. So it was like a dot with like the 2 ears.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting. And when I saw them, I was like, oh my God, these are amazing. And then the second one was, I don't know what shape the cookie was in. It wasn't a circle or a square, but it was just like a fancier
object.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I would have to show you. And then in the middle, it was the castle, but the gate was a Mickey ear. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. Like I thought that was a neat little touch. And then
They were all beautifully, like, individually.
Yeah, they're all individually wrapped.
And if you could, just talking about your wedding, if you could give one piece of advice to a COVID bride, because I'm sure COVID's not going away for a while, what would it be?
Yeah. Right. Trying to think of like the best piece of advice. I feel like, which I think I would give this to just any bride in general, is it's your day. It's your wedding. The only people's opinion who matter are you and the groom. Because I think that was probably the hardest thing Billy and I had to do, is like we needed to decide if we were going to go through with getting married or we were going to push it off. But we don't know when the pandemic is going to end, and we don't know like what the future holds. And we didn't want to like not start our lives together because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So do what's best for you. Just follow the guidelines. I'm not saying break the rules, but like follow the guidelines, make sure you're doing everything safely, because you want to keep your loved ones safe and you don't want to put anyone in harm's way. If someone doesn't want to come because they're not comfortable, don't be mad. But on the same foot, like if you're a guest, don't judge the bride and groom for wanting to go through with their day.
Yeah.
Because again, like you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So like, it's like kind of I don't know if it's a give and take, but I know people might not feel comfortable going, and that's okay. But if you're the guest, don't judge the bride and groom, because I can tell you it is very stressful, a lot of sleepless nights, like on top of how hard wedding planning is already. Like you have in the back of your mind, like, am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing this? Is everyone going to be safe? Like, it's just like a lot goes through your head on top of the normal wedding stress. There's just another added stress, and just breathe, I guess. Breathe. Everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Restrictions and guidelines. You can make it fun. I'm not fun. Fun's not the right word, but like we gave everyone like personalized hand sanitizer with our names on it, and everyone got a mask. Like we got masks with funny sayings like Amanda and Billy quarantine for life. And I forget what the other one said, but we can't mask our excitement. Like there are ways that you can like, fun's not the right word, but like make it, or like, I guess I don't know. I don't know the word I'm thinking of, but like there are ways where like you can just continue on with your day and make it safe and enjoyable for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, thanks so much for sharing all of that. We really appreciate you talking about all your engagement stuff and bride stuff, because you're so adorable and we love Disney love. Oh. And we thought to round out the podcast here, having a little quick like flash round of would you rathers.
Okay.
So these are just really quick, right off the top of your head. What is your immediate first answer, right?
Oh boy. Okay.
So here's your first one. Kaycee, you gotta answer these two, girl.
Yay! Okay, cool.
So the first one is have unlimited snack credits or unlimited fast passes.
Wait, am I first?
Yeah, you're first.
Snacks.
Wow.
Probably snacks. I don't mind waiting in line. I want all the food.
Kaycee, what about you?
So I would choose fast passes. Absolutely. I wouldn't. I like to snack, but I'd rather just ride everything and like unlimited. Like I could literally ride like over and over again. Yeah, no, I would definitely do fast passes for sure. What about you, Kara?
So I answered this, I think 2 weeks ago when we were talking with Hannah, and I explained, wow, that I would choose these snack credits because those change throughout the year and the rides stay the same. So
that's true.
That's why. But okay, next. Amanda, spend a whole day at Galaxy's Edge or a whole day on Main Street?
Galaxy's Edge. Please. No, not a competition. Batu is my second home.
Yeah, same. Galaxy's Edge for me.
Well, as the non-Star Wars fanatic, I'll have to say Main Street.
Main Street. Yes.
I would ride Smuggler's Run over and over and over and over.
Our third one is visit at the Very Merry Christmas Party or visit at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Christmas, hands down. Christmas is my favorite. I love Christmas.
Kaycee,
Yeah, I would do the Halloween party, I think, over the Christmas party. Partially because I think the Christmas party would be a little bit more crowded than the Halloween one would, but I mean, I'm sure they're both great.
I only choose Halloween because when I went with Brandon back in November, I was there for Christmas. And I think just the villains at night and Mickey's scariness, I don't know, it's like a little dark side of Disney, which I feel like I'm all about.
Yeah.
So that would be mine. And then this is our last one, guys. If one Epcot festival had to run year round, which one would you want and why? And I feel like I know Amanda's answer.
Oh, that's hard because.
Be mad.
What?
I said, if you don't choose the one I'm thinking you're going to choose.
So, I guess if I had to choose, it'd probably be Flower and Garden.
What? No.
What did you think?
I thought you were going to say food and wine.
No, that's not probably no. It would either be Flower and Garden and then Festival of the Arts and then Food and Wine. Ugh, Kara. No, I'm just kidding. No, because when Billy and I went for Flower and Garden, like I loved it and I loved all the food. Big fan of that frosé that they have in France. Like I love the orange slush, but the pink one that they had, like, loved it. But I don't know. I love seeing all the flowers, and it's also springtime, which I love. And I love like the I almost said the flowers, just like how like everything's decorated. Like it's just so pretty. But when I went to Festival of the Arts with my mom, I also loved seeing all the art. And of course, like the food's good, but I feel like the food's always good.
Yeah.
And the drinks are always good. So it would probably Flower and Garden.
Yeah. What about you?
Same for me. I would do Flower and Garden. I really love the time of year that it is. Like it's not super, super hot and it's also not cold. I went to the, oh my gosh, the Festival of the Arts 2 weekends ago, I believe. And it was just cold. Like it was cold at night. And I really didn't want to it's not that I didn't want to walk around the World Showcase, but it was like, man, I really just want to be inside. Like I'm cold.
Get around that water in January and the breeze is just like, whoo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you need a jacket.
It's so true. So I would for sure rather, and it's just beautiful. Like you said, I think they're called like the topiaries.
Oh yeah. All the different character topiaries. They're all so pretty. Like how do you
beautiful. And I'm like taking like selfies with all of them. I love it so much. And just the people that do those are just so talented. I think that's cool. I'm not also a huge like art person either. Like I would rather either make something myself or have like a friend of mine make something for me than like go buy one at Disney for like $150 to put in my office. Like I'd rather just have someone make something for me.
Yeah.
Well, Amanda, you are just, like I said earlier, just the cutest thing that I have seen today. So thank you so much for being on with us. I hope you had fun. I know me and Kara probably had fun. We always have fun recording.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for just being open and being on and telling your story. And I'm sure it's one of the stories that you love to tell, but I know being a COVID bride, like probably had some really, like you said, a lot of sleepless nights and probably some tears. So I'm glad that you shared that. That's really special. And
yeah.
I hope eventually the pandemic is over and we can get back to like a sense of normalcy, I guess. But so you're one of those brides that your wedding just fell in that time where it was tough. So congrats on your wedding. So recent. You're welcome. And that you just persevered through that. So applause to you and Billy, right?
Yes, Billy.
Billy, yes. Yeah. So thank you for being on. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're a COVID bride and need someone to talk to. My DMs are open.
Well, we appreciate it. Tell our listeners really quick, if you don't mind, where they can find you on Instagram if they haven't heard you already. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, my Instagram is magically Amanda Victoria.
I love that. I love it so much. So, all right, awesome.
And we, again, thank you so much. I mean, it was just so happy to have you. I hope all of the listeners enjoyed today's episode. We are just getting you ready for the Valentine's Day mood. I believe today should be February 10th. And we are getting you ready for Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day from the Why We Disney podcast, from myself, Kaycee, and Amanda. If you haven't already seen our faces, it's because you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel. So hop over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more episodes. If you're listening on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it's going to help so much if you guys rate us 5 stars and leave a review. And I know we always say this, but it helps with our reach. So literally more listeners are able to find the most magical podcast on the internet if you help us. And all of those ways to help us are for free. And I know you all like that. So thanks again, Amanda. It's been an amazing episode, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.